this one is more of reflection than advice for anybody because I have an issue. It's a recurring problem. I can't seem to fix it yet. I'm getting a better grasp on it and making progress handling it overall, but it's time wise, it's the biggest issue I have. I'll sit down, I'll get distracted for a while, or rather, I'll start consuming without an intentional end. And then I'll have schedules for later, but I'll miss the, let's say, starting timing for that. So by 4 p.m., I want to be getting ready to meditate, but I'll notice by 5 p.m. instead that I still haven't gone for a run. So now I'll do that, I'll come back, and then the rest of my evening was planned already. And suddenly I don't have time. It's just a fundamental issue of how do I intend to spend my time for the evenings. You know, if I don't plan on running in the evening, suddenly I have more time, suddenly I can use it differently. But a lot of the problems just come based off the fact that I'll go and get both distracted but also have a free block of time to use. The problem is, I could say, okay, just set a goal for every single part of the day or set a goal for every activity. But is it really the problem that I have free time where I don't have a set goal and I can just do whatever I want? More than anything else, this freedom is refreshing to me. But maybe that's the problem. It seems so counterintuitive now when I say it, but is the freedom to do whatever you want sometimes a vice or sometimes a bad way to cope? Because that's what it ends up being for me. Or rather, I'm undisciplined with when to end that time. I could likely, if I can just end it on time, then I can schedule it. And if I can schedule it, I can manage it. But I can't make myself stop because maybe that's so ingrained into my brain that I tend to just forget what I want really from life. It sounds silly because it never felt that way until very recently, but a distraction is really that. It's something that has your attention that's not what you want. And forever, distractions felt like more of what I want than anything else. Like I didn't have anything else. It was more like, okay, I've done my work, now I have free time and I can use it whatever way I want. And the most stimulating, or the one that really fit me the most, because it wasn't all just about stimulation, dopamine all the time, but it was about being a good fit. But that always ended up being unproductive. Meanwhile, now I have very clear and increasingly more clear goals I'm looking at. Stuff I want, relationships I want. And it's much more clear to me to draw a clean line between these two things. I guess I just need more time because so far time and attention have been the solution to every problem I've had. Time, trying, and attention. So I'm going to need some more time. I'm going to need to try out some new things, and I'm going to need to pay attention to this specific issue, because if I look at the amount of time I waste every day, 80% of the time I waste or more comes from the time I sit down and I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to freely do whatever I want. And that can be reading stuff, that can be watching videos, that can be playing some games, but that one's rare. And I'll just completely devote myself to this thing and indulge and get absorbed in it. So much so I forget the time, I forget everything else. Yeah, Sounds like a stupid person's problem, but I guess I'm a stupid person sometimes, especially when it comes to time management problems.